time of worship, and they'll be back again at the end. But I want to welcome you to Life Church, where faith is a journey, not a guilt trip. My name is John, and it is a thrill to have you here this morning. A couple pieces of housekeeping really quick. For those of you who are checking us out for the first time, thank you for being our guest. It's so much fun meeting new faces at 9:30 and 11:15. I met a whole bunch of SVSU students at the 9:30, which I don't know why they were here at 9:30. That's kind of weird for college students, but there you go. But hey, for those of you who slept in and came here a little bit later, grab one of these off of your chairs or in the front lobby. It's a blue connection card. It's a way that I can shoot you an email later this week. For those of you tuning in online, you can go to connecttolifechurch.com. Do that on your smartphone, on your iPad. Connecttolifechurch.com. On the way out, if you drop this off in the lobby, we have a gift for you. Just our way of saying thanks for giving us a shot. So grab your free gift. Or log on to connecttolifechurch.com. One other piece of housekeeping is this Tuesday night, we kick off 707 Student Ministries for the fall right here with the students 6th through 12th. It's a lot of fun. We've got the live band, lots of laughter, flying Twinkies and tomatoes, plus I get to pour into your middle schoolers and high schoolers. So make sure that they check it out Tuesday night, 7:07 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's a photo from the last night of Best Week Ever that we held a week and a half ago. We invaded Midland's Dow Diamond, and we invited 3,000 of the people there for baseball to come check out Life Church. And that's what today is about, a message that we're calling Becoming Share Aware. Becoming Share Aware. Turn to someone next to you and say, share aware. So right here I have a table. I have lots of chairs around the table, and I want to walk you through the table that we set every Sunday at our weekend worship experiences. Today's a special kind of message. It's a vision message. Now, if you don't know what a vision is, think about the greatest painter in history, Bob Ross. So Friday night, I was sitting there on the couch, snuggled up to my wife. I married my high school sweetheart, and we were going to do Netflix and chill. Flipping through, what are the different options? You know, when you're trying to figure out what to watch and you can't agree. Oh, look, that looks good. No, it doesn't. You flip to another one. Oh, well, there's a scary movie. I don't want to get scared. There's Nicolas Cage. He looks weird. And then we stopped on the documentary. Brand new, just came out on Netflix this week. It's a documentary about Bob Ross. Bob Ross was the PBS phenom who would always talk in a whisper. How you doing? It's so good to see you here for the joy of painting. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. This guy on LSD? What is he smoking? But I'm smoking what he's selling. I'm leaning in. Yes, Bob, tell me more. This is my little squirrel. Peanut. I want a little squirrel, Bob. And he's painting a picture of what could be, what should be. In our happy little world, there's a happy little tree and a happy little cloud. And over here's a happy little politician telling you happy little lies. I just was like, this is great, Bob Ross. And everybody knows Bob Ross. He paints these pictures of what could be and what should be, and that's what a vision is. Everybody needs passion and purpose in their lives, because knowing your purpose produces forward movement. So today I'm going to share with you our vision, our heartbeat as a church. And it involves this table and becoming chair aware, trying to figure out which chair you and I are sitting in when it comes to Life Church and our vision. If you have ever thumbed through the book of Proverbs, it's kind of like God's tweets, just short little nuggets of advice and leadership. Proverbs 29 verse 18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Where there is no picture of the future, of where we're headed, things fall apart. We've just been through 18 months of sitting at home in lockdown, getting bored, getting depressed, getting lonely, because there was no forward movement. So today, let's paint a picture of the future, of what could be, what should be, if we are in it to win it, because together we win. This picture is centered on Jesus. So when you have guests over for dinner, you're going to hang out, you have your table, you got your bowl, your plate, your silverware, and then you need your main course. Something to be fed. In the book of John, chapter 6, verse 38, Jesus says, "I am the bread of life." So imagine a fresh loaf of bread. Sort of like when you go by Krispy Kreme and those neon lights come on, hot and fresh, and you're like, "Jesus Christ, we're going to get donuts." And Jesus says, "Yes, they're blessed in my name. I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry." There is so much in this life to absorb, to consume. The last 18 months, we've all consumed Disney Plus, HBO Max, the YouTube stuff, and that's fine and dandy, but it never fulfills, does it? You're still hungry for more. You remember watching Sesame Street? Cookie Monster would show up on the scene, and what would Cookie Monster say? "Me hungry for cookies!" And then he'd grab them, and then he would say, "I'm hungry for more cookies," because the cookies don't satisfy the hunger in his tummy. Except for that one weird episode of Sesame Street from the 70s, where Cookie Monster left and went to the restroom, went, and he brought him back. Remember that? Nobody? Just making sure you're still with me. Okay, so Jesus is the bread. Jesus satisfies. He says, you will never go hungry if you find Jesus. Because we all have a hole in our lives that is God-shaped. And it was Augustine who said about 300 years after the time of Christ that your heart will always be restless until you are satisfied in Him. So you can chase after your favorite movies and TV shows. You can try and look the right way. You can chase after money, fill up your 401k. You can chase after drugs and alcohol and sex and whatever else you want to chase. But at the end of the day, when you sit down and eat, you still end up with an empty plate, an empty bowl. You're hungry for more. Just like Cookie Monster, you are never going to be satisfied until you get your bread. So Life Church is a place where people come to get fed. Life Church is a place where every Sunday we want to create the best hour of your week. A time that is engaging, that is creative, that grabs your imagination with what could be and what should be. And the main event in the middle of the table is Jesus, the Son of God, God the Son. Nobody got bored following Jesus. If you are rolling out of bed on Sunday saying, "Oh, I have to go to church," and you're just humming along and not excited, you're not thrilled, listen, church should be exciting. It should be something to look forward to. If you're bored going to your church, that's a church that Satan is excited you're going to. Because it frees him up to go after other people. You need to find a place that makes your heart soar, that makes you feel lighter of the load from yesterday and excited about what tomorrow holds. You need a church full of vision and vigor and thriving lives. Yes. Life Church is a place where you're going to get fed the bread of life. And we have a reason, a method to the madness. We have a vision of what could be and what should be. Are you sitting down? Good. Our vision this fall is to inspire people to follow Jesus. If we can grab a hold of men and women and teenagers and children from all across the Great Lakes Bay region and online beyond, that's a win. Right now, there are kids having the best hour of their week in Life Kids. Because we want to inspire your kids to follow Jesus. This Tuesday, your student may drag their heels coming till 7:07, but by the end, they'll be laughing, having a blast, because we want to inspire teenagers to follow Jesus. We think there's nothing else like him. Listen, I will never get over what Jesus did in my life. He power washed my soul. He forgave my past. He leads me into the future. I want more people to learn about Jesus. And so our goal at Life Church is to make it hard for people to go to hell and make it easy for people to have a seat at the table. There's always room for more people. Everyone's welcome. Nobody's perfect. We want to make heaven crowded. And so that's our heart. That's why we do what we do at Life Church. We want to inspire thousands of people throughout the Great Lakes Bay region and beyond online to follow Jesus. Whether it's their first step of following him, or they've been going to church all their lives, Vacation Bible School, Sunday school, being at church on Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. Whatever it is, we want people to take that next step. And we want it to be fun. Dude, I've read the scriptures. John chapter 1, when Andrew discovers the Carpenter King, it's like he just discovered the Avengers. He can't help but tell everybody. He says, hey, Peter, you got to come with me and meet this guy who knows everything I ever did. And Peter's like, well, I don't want to do that. And Andrew's like, no, you don't understand. Everything you've been looking for in life, come with me. Can you imagine if Andrew had not invited Peter to have a seat at the table? Peter would have missed out. It would have short-circuited a movement of God in Peter's life. The same is true for you. Being here on Sunday is just the first step in the journey. Filling up the seats around you, inviting your loved ones, your co-workers, that's the name of the game. We want to inspire people to follow Jesus. To help you get this, to help it all sink in, not just your mind, but into your heart, we have created a resource for today's message. The entire message is available on your smartphone right now. All you got to do is log on to lifechurchmichigan.com/chair-aware. And today's message, all the slides, everything you want to know about the heart and passion of this new church you discovered, it's right there on your smartphone. So I invite you to go on ahead, pull that up on your smartphone, lifechurchmichigan.com/chair-aware. Because this church is not a job for me. It's not just something that I have to do. Man, this is a privilege. We have a seat at the table. And God says there's room for more people. Like, this is personal. This place is a labor of love. And I hope by the end of this message it is for you also. For us, for our family, Team Herron, it started 8 years ago with praying about what could be, what should be. What if there was a church where it was easy to invite our friends? We weren't embarrassed. We weren't going to be let down. Instead, our friends were going to be like, this is a church? It feels like a nightclub, or it feels like a comedy. What is this place, right? And it starts for us with our kids. So Amber and I have been married 23 years, and we have 5 amazing kiddos. We want them to be inspired to follow Jesus. This is the church that we've dreamed of for our kids. We love that our kids are learning about God's love in Life Kids right now. I love that my 14-year-old can't wait to come to 707 on Tuesday nights. Because listen, men, it starts in the home. I have no reason to be up on this stage leading the house of God if I'm not first leading my own home. And that's Ephesians 5. That's true for all the guys here. You're called to be the pastor, the spiritual leader of your home. So finding a church family is biblical. It's part of the deal. We want to be here on Sundays. I mean, Saturday nights, I don't go out. I don't go partying. I'm not at concerts. Dude, I'm getting my beauty rest so I can bring my best to God's house. God deserves my best. How about you? And listen, again, this pays off. Last Sunday, we celebrated baptisms outside. We saw 8 people go public with their faith. Let's brag about God for just a second and what God is doing at Life Church. In the midst of a global pandemic, when most churches are struggling to stay open, in the last 8 months, we've seen nearly 20 people go public with their faith through baptism at Life Church. God is moving. And while we celebrated all those stories of life change, and you can catch the video on our website if you missed it, for me, man, it got personal last Sunday. When my oldest jumped in the tank and said, "Put me in, coach, I'm going public with my faith." I got to experience the words. Listen, you keep interrupting with applause, but I don't have a lot of time. And I don't want to talk like an auctioneer, or remember the Micro Machine Man from the 80s? Micro Machine. So, listen, in 3 John, the book of 3 John, Verse 2, I got to experience those words. When John says, "There is no greater joy in my life than to see my children walking in the truth." And John was saying that as the spiritual leader of the church of Ephesus. I want that for your house. Moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. So help us with this vision. Let's inspire people to follow Jesus. Now, there's a method to the madness. There's a strategy. I'll throw this up on the screen for just a moment, but you can find it on the website. Our journey has been an 8-year journey to becoming chair aware. And Jonathan Edwards, way back in the 1700s, during the Great Enlightenment, the Great Awakening, it was Jonathan Edwards who said, "I have 2 resolutions. I will stand firm on these 2 truths. Resolution 1, I will live for God. Resolution 2, if no one else does, I still will." I want us to dream about this table, Life Church, a place where people get fed the bread, and which seat are we sitting at? I want us to become chair aware. Say that with me. Chair aware. One more time. Here's the website that has all the slides. You can follow along. lifechurchmichigan.com/chair aware. There is a method to the madness. If we want to inspire people to follow Jesus, here's our strategy. And for some of you, this will be a light bulb moment. You'll go, "Oh, that's why they do it this way at Life Church." Because we're trying to move people forward. We're trying to move people around this table, starting with endearing our community. We just want to love people. We want to love people when they least expect it and least deserve it. We endear ourselves to the community. We want people to know that Life Church is here. We want people to say, "We're glad Life Church is in our region." We want people to say, "Hey, the Great Lakes Bay region is better off because Life Church exists." And so we endear ourselves to the community by doing fun, free events that bring people together, like Faith and Family Nights at the Ball Diamond, the Easter egg helicopter drop. We do stuff with our local law enforcement. We do billboards and radio. All of that is to make people aware that we exist, so that when someone goes through a crisis, or someone becomes restless and has questions about faith, they'll remember Life Church. A safe place to probe your faith without feeling like you're the one that got probed. That's why we do what we do. When people come, we want to inspire our audience. We want to create an environment where people say, I'm glad I came and I can't wait to come back. That's true for kids ministry, for 707, and for Sundays. And we want to move people around the table to eventually becoming full court followers of Christ. We want to equip the core, enlisting and training students and adults to serve, to lead, to give, to invite. That's our strategy. And you can get this on our website. You can download it, print it out, put it on the fridge, frame it. But let's talk about these chairs. If Life Church is the table and Jesus is at the center as the bread, which chair am I sitting in? I want to be chair aware. Chair number one is someone who is unchurched. This could be someone who hasn't gone to church in years. Maybe they feel guilty coming through the doors. They feel weird. This could be someone who has never darkened a church door before. If that's you, we are thrilled you're here. Jesus said in John chapter 6, verse 44, that no one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws them. So this is what it means for all of us. Listen, when you post about Life Church on social media, you are being used by the Father to draw someone close to Christ. When you text two of your coworkers to come sit with you next week for our new relationship series, you are an instrument of the Father being used to reach someone far from God. So that the person who is unchurched can move to chair number 2 of becoming fully involved with their faith. Fresh faith. The second chair is anybody who, they're like, oh my goodness, this bread satisfies. This carpenter king, man, I want to follow him. Someone who is fresh in their faith, you can see it in their eyes. They're like a kid on Christmas morning. That's why I love Baptism Sundays. You hear these stories of life change. It says in Hebrews 6 that we are to move beyond the elementary teachings about Christ and be taken forward to maturity. So someone who is fresh in their faith is going to get baptized. They're going to go through our Next Steps class. They are excited about this new church they've discovered. Now we want them to move to the next chair at the table, but sometimes what happens in the church world is someone goes from being excited about their faith and they leave the table and come to the little kids' table. At Thanksgiving, at Christmas, this happens a lot, where you have to divide people up. Some people are at the big kids' table, and then some of them get to sit in the high chair. It's true. Some of y'all are sitting in the high chair. And it's not even a high chair, it's an I chair. Because we've made church all about me. Oh, I'll go to church when it's convenient. I don't like that music. I didn't feel it there. Oh, I don't like the way that they do this and that. Guess what? It's not about you. Wow. It was never about you. It's always about Jesus. Yeah. And at Life Church, we are challenging you to leverage your life and your influence for the fame of Jesus Christ. It's not about you. You don't want to be in the high chair. It says in 1 Peter and in Hebrews that some of the believers should be eating steak, but they're settling for milk. Wow. Like a widow baby. Wow. Now, widow babies are cute until they start making messes. And too many churches have a lot of I-chair Christians. Here comes the baby food. He's going to zoom. Oh, you had your mouth closed, made a mess. But with high-chair Christians, usually their mouth is not closed. Usually it's wide open, and they're making a huge mess and a huge ruckus about themselves. It's not about you. It's about inspiring people to follow Jesus. He said in John 4:34 that my food is to do the will of Him. Not my will, His agenda, not my agenda. to do the will of him who sent me to finish his work. Which means if you're a Christ follower, you are called to serve, to share, to sow. You are called to serve others, to share what you have, and to sow your gifts and your finances into the table. We have more room at the table. I don't know if y'all know this, but we had this global pandemic. And for 18 months, it became really easy for us to sit at home, to sleep in on Sunday. And, at first we were like, I'm excited. Our church is on YouTube. This is so cool for about 2 months. And then we're like, what else? Let's see what Stephen Fergus doing. Oh, wow, he's got Holly up there. That's great. Wow, and they got swooping cameras. That's cool. You know what else has swooping cameras? Football. Let's watch football. And suddenly Sundays became about our preferences. And we started treating our church like a TV show. Instead of being consumed with a passion and purpose, we became consumers of God's house. Let me put it another way. I'm going to really step on your toes. This is great. I'm opening up some seats for next week. Just celebrated 23 years of marriage to my high school sweetheart. I love my wife. Yeah. I can post it on Facebook. I love my wife. I can tell people I love my wife. But if I haven't seen her in 6 weeks or 8 weeks, do I really love my wife? Preach. Is that relationship going to be strong? No. You can't say I love Jesus and diss his bride. Wow. In Ephesians 2 it says it's now through the local church the manifold wisdom of God is being made known. We are not we when you are not here. And I understand some of us, we have weakened immune systems, we can't do COVID, but the rest of you, pull up your pants, sack up, take the shot, get in church. It's time to serve, share, and sow. People are going to hell. We want to make it hard for that to happen and fill up heaven. But we need you with us. I can do it on my own, but I'm going to be like a president that after 8 years I age like 8 times faster than the population. So listen, don't give me a heart attack. Let's move forward, people. Here's the chair you want to be in. Get out of the high chair of be, me, and get into chair number 4, what we call lifers. These are men, women, teenagers who have a seat at the table and they take responsibility. Just like any family, we all have responsibilities. We all have to pitch in and help out in the household of God. It says in Psalm 92, verses 12 and 13, that the righteous, those who are full court followers, the righteous will flourish. Who here wants to flourish? Yeah. You want to flourish in your relationships? Great. You want to flourish with your finances? Awesome. You want to flourish with your spirituality? Great. It happens in God's house. The righteous will flourish like a palm tree. They'll grow up like a strong cedar of Lebanon, planted, not in their house, but in the house of the Lord. You can't be jumping around from this channel to that channel. You can't be, I'm going to try out this church. No, I'm going to try out this church. You're like a spiritual crisscross, going to make you jump from the 90s. Remember? You got to be planted in one house of the Lord, and then it says you will flourish in the courts of our God. You want to go to that next step? Get yourself planted at Life Church. Sit in the seat. Become a lifer. It's not hard. There's room at the table, and we need your help. Amen. I want to change your vocabulary this Sunday, if I can. Because it's not about being a member of a church. Members have rights. Lifers have responsibilities. Preach. And the greatest responsibility is to be a door holder. Wow. Stop thinking of this chair as come and kiss my ring, but instead as let me hold the door for you. Wow. A door holder is someone who takes pleasure in opening the door for others to experience Jesus. Amen. What we do every Sunday in kids and here, what we do every Tuesday at 7:07, we're holding doors open so that people can be inspired to follow Jesus. We get this from the scriptures. Psalm 84, verse 10. We'll put this on the screen. Psalm 84 says, "Better is one day in your courts than thousands elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper, a door holder in the house of God than dwell in the tents of the wicked. The psalmist says, I would rather be holding up the door, doing servant work, changing diapers at church, or running tech, or vacuuming the floors, or cleaning the windows. I would rather be a door holder, making a difference instead of taking up space. And you can become a door holder. That's part of inspiring people to follow Jesus. That's part of our strategy of moving around the table, from being unchurched to having a fresh faith to becoming a lifer, a door holder. You're going to have a lot more fun when you have skin in the game.
That's right.
And it's as easy of getting involved as going to our website, lifechurchmichigan.com/chair-aware. You know how Jesus put it? You can land the plane on this message. He put it this way in Luke chapter 14, verses 23 and 24. He said, the master told his servant, go out to the roads, go to the country lanes, hop on Instagram, text some people, compel them to come in so that my house will be full. Jesus was never complacent. He was always driven. The early church didn't just sit in the pews. They went out and served, they shared, they sowed. And because they sowed in faith, they saw something beautiful grow in their lifetime. Gang, we have had a front row seat to a movement of God that was just zooming until we smashed into COVID. Every church in America is having to start over because everybody in America became couch potato Christians.
Amen.
But instead of lamenting, let's see this as an opportunity to become the church we've always dreamed of. A place where it's okay to not be okay. A place where we're proud to bring our friends and to serve and to set the table every Sunday. And let's see what God can do through you. I'll make it easy for you. I'll even fist bump you for next Sunday. We're starting a new series next Sunday. Same time, same channel. And then we're making it super easy to invite your friends and loved ones. Watch this. There you go. Next Sunday, new series, all about love, sex, dating. You all have people in your lives who have relationship issues. If you don't know anybody with a relationship issue, look in the mirror. Just look at people's Facebook settings. You'll see them breaking up all the time. Text them, invite them to come sit with you. That empty chair next to you is an opportunity to see what God can do through you. All right, right now the band is going to come out for one last song. We've enjoyed having Rod here from Alabama. You guys enjoyed Rod? The Rod and the boys are going to come out for one last song of worship. During this last song of worship, if God has moved in your heart to sow, to invest in this vision, you can help fuel the vision by sharing a gift during this final song. You can share your gift at lifechurchgive.com. or on Venmo, or in the basket as it's passed around during the final song. But as we say all the time around here, if you're new, leave your wallet in your pocket. We're not after your money. We're after your connection card. So if you're checking us out for the first time, make sure during this final song you fill out this blue card or fill out the form at lifechurchconnect.com and grab your free gift on the way out when we're dismissed. Let me pray for you guys. God, thank you for this opportunity to worship, to be inspired by what could be, what should be. A white-hot vision to impact lives. God, give us that urgency to inspire people to follow Jesus. May we figure out what our next step of faith is so that we move to the next chair, moving around the table, being part of the solution to our world's many problems. God, we offer you now our tithes, our offerings, our gifts as we sing this final song of worship. Pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Come on, let's put our hands together for the Lord. Come on, let's do God's prayer.
Please stand and join us like preach.
Was that not a
As we come to a close, now is your opportunity to partner with what God is doing here at Life Church. Now, those of you who are here and are guests for the first time, please leave your wallet in your pocket. We are not after your money, but we would still love for you to go to connecttolifechurch.com and fill out that connection card. Those of you who are wanting to financially support what God is doing here, you can do so in many ways. You can do it on Venmo, you can do it at lifechurchgive.com, or for those of you who are on site, we have baskets that are available that you can drop your offering and your tithes as you walk out the door. We really appreciate you supporting what's going on here and allowing us to seize the moment just like Peter and continue to share Jesus with those that God puts in our path.